Hello. I believe we are live. I'm getting some error codes on here, so I'm not really sure what's going on. Um, Joey, welcome from Southern California. Good to see you. Well, I want to make sure you can hear me. All right. And we have Carla from Oklahoma City. Welcome, Carla. And we're going to get Lee in here from Indiana. Looks like storms are rolling in for you folks. Please be careful. Stay safe. We have got an awful lot of templates we're going to work with tonight. Okay, Donna's here from North Carolina. Welcome. And Charlene's here from Colorado. And Joey, you are quite welcome for the template information. And good morning or good evening. Good evening, my Michigan buddy, Linda. Oh boy. Okay, everybody can hear me. Okay, good. Loud and clear. Okay, good. I don't know. It just came up with a weird error message, and I'm not really sure. Okay. Ah, Donna's here. Jan, my friend, and Lee, I am glad. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. Okay. And Cactus Deb is here from Arizona, my friend. And another friend is Linda from New York. And we are just about ready to rock and roll now. Now that I know where I'm at and what I've got done. So, tonight we are going to be doing a really fun one. Okay. I really had a lot of fun planning this one out. It is Starry Night 2. And we are going to be doing things inside, outside. We're going to be doing different sizes. We're going to be doing different templates. I'm going to show you how we're going to connect them. And this one is just, this one I found to be just plain fun. Okay. So it uses a lot of templates, but that's okay. And here is the drawn out version. Okay. Okay. So what we got here is Linda said it's weird if I log on early. It doesn't start being live unless I log out and then come back in. Linda, that is really interesting. I've never heard of that before. So it is interesting. Um, this is something that I'm just, I'm learning as I'm going along with this program too, although it really does work well. So, all right, let's go ahead and let's take a look at what we're going to be doing because we have a lot of stitching to do tonight. What I did is I made my vertical and horizontal center line like I always do. If our if our templates aren't exactly in the same spot that this shows it to be. And I'm going to show you, for example, on this one, I started here and it came out pretty good. Well, when I came over, oh, this way, I'm sorry. No, I came over to this side, which is these guys right here. I used my three smallest, and it's just a little bit too big. You know what? It doesn't matter. That's absolutely fine. I also put a little X here and a little X here. That is where we're going to go on to joining these motifs so that it becomes a very full edge design. Okay, so let's take a look at the templates we're going to use and then let's get started because guys, I really enjoyed putting this one together. We are going to use our full moon 2.5 inch, our full moon 2 inch. So I'm just going to set those aside. Star tail 2. We are going to use the 2 inch and the 1 inch. Now in star tails, I like to put stable tape on both sides because we will be, flipping them over for certain designs. So I have my 2 inch and my 1.5 inch. I'm going to set those over there. We're going to use star 6, 1 inch, 1.5 inch, and 2 inch. So we're going to go ahead and set those over there. And we are going to use our Starry Nights 7, 1.5 inch, and 2.5 inch. And we're going to set those off to the side. And for this particular design, I ended up using the edge-to-edge connector one, mostly the letter C. So we'll see how that works, okay? Let's go ahead and go back here because Ken is not here tonight. Mm, okay, let's see where we're at. Nina's here from Queensland. Welcome. And it is good morning for you. Carla, Linda, I've had to do that with mine also. Okay, yeah. I don't understand the coming in and having to come out and come back in once the live goes live. I'm gonna see if I can talk to somebody at StreamYard to kind of give me some information just so that I can do a better job for you. Okay. Oh, you guys are awesome. Diane is here from Queensland. Good morning. So nice to see you. Okay, first thing I'm going to do, and I know normally I have this stuff beforehand, but I'll be honest with you. Today has been kind of a crazy day for me. So we're just going to go ahead and do it now. And come here. Okay, now you go lay down, behave. Guess who wants to be heard? Oh my goodness, I love this girl. She is such a sweet dog. She really is. Okay. I like to just simply make a vertical and horizontal crosshair. Okay. The reason that I do that is not because I'm absolutely following it according to the directions that I've got, because I normally don't follow it exactly on the crosshair. But what it does do is it gives me a landmark. For example, on this particular design, here is my landmark. This is where I'm going to start right here. And if you look at the design here, what you'll see is mine might be just a little bit different, but the important parts of it are correct. We're going to have things in that basic same shape with the templates in basically the same area. We can never 100% perfectly replicate the embroidery, okay? Because those are usually adjusted just a little bit to fit into the area. But it doesn't matter. It's okay that we won't. It's okay that we go ahead and make it work. Okay, let's take a little. Okay, Jan says. Okay. Oh, Jan is concerned about Ken and is feeling better. Um, yeah, he is, and his heart rate has stayed stable. However, he has now developed atrial flutter. So it's like, yeah, if it's not one thing, it's another. So he's going to see a cardiophysiologist or something. I don't know. Anyway, we're hoping some good answers that way. Yeah. Okay. Joey asks where I get my paper that I draw my designs out on. Well, this is what I call it's newsprint. It's absolutely newsprint. I get them in great big pads, and that I used to have from when I was drawing. I used a lot of newsprint for my basic sketches, and that's what I get. These particular pieces, this pad, it's a pad of newsprint, and it is 18 by 24 inches, I believe. So it's a big pad, and this is just half of it, half of one piece of it. And this just works really, really well for me. It does. It's inexpensive. The other thing you can do is you can get packing paper at that big box store that I love so much. And it also is the same basic newsprint, and it's even cheaper to buy it there. You'll find that in the moving supplies, okay, which is attached to the office supplies. And until I bought, or I shouldn't say bought, till I found these pads that I already had, I was using that. Now, there is another product that I really, really enjoy using, and it is our designing pads. We do have those, and those are very nice also, very nice. I just wanted to use up what I had before I start with another. Okay. Um, let's see where else. Okay, yeah, I know. I know, Linda. You know, the guy can't seem to catch a break. He's gonna be okay though. He's gonna be okay. I know. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started on this. And the first thing I'm going to do is this little guy right here. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and switch my camera over and make sure everything is correct. There we go. So we're going to start right here. I'm going to go ahead and put this off to the side. Now, when I'm drawing these out too, I really want you to see that I make little notes and symbols for myself. For example, I'll put a symbol like this, which is nothing more than a little X, so that I know that is where I want my connector to be and the direction I'm heading in. So those little symbols, they really do mean something. The other thing I do is I will I will note the template and the size of the template. And that just helps me to solidify in my mind what steps we need to take. Okay? So let's go ahead. Again, I am not um I'm not trying to make a duplicate. I'm not trying to make an exact copy. I liken it to art. When we produce something, it is an interpretation. It's not a photograph. Photographs are easy to take. Now, some people, myself included, do like to do photorealism, but it still is going to have little nuances. Okay. Going to start up here because what we're going to do is we're going to come around and do this half. And there we go. Let's go ahead and get this up. There we go. Okay, I see I've got more. Hi, Jean. Jean's here from Mount Vernon, Washington. So glad to see you. Joey says she has packing paper here in the house. Awesome, Joey. And that is what you certainly can use. Oh my goodness, I dropped something. What a surprise. Okay. So now I am using my 2.5-inch full moon. There we go. And I started here because this is going to be the area where we're going to come out of for the next design. Okay. So happy to have my 301 back. I had to keep my other machine out here for a few days while I was working on another project. And while it is a beautiful machine, no doubt about it, I still miss my 301. And we're going to stop right at the beginning. All right, so what I'm going to do next is I am going to make sure you can see it. I'm going to go ahead and put that star in so that I end up exactly where I want up here. So that is the star 7. I'll take these guys away now. Find my star 7, and that's going to be a 2.5 inch. 2.5 inch star 7. Open this up. Remember, we've got our spacing gauge, and what we want is we actually want to come just outside of these lines on the left side, but we want to stay inside on the right side. So it's going to be a dance. We are going to make sure with our spacing gauge, there we go. And we're going to come in this direction. I do like to make my stitches a little smaller. Oh, guys, did you see what I just did? Okay, I totally came off of that. Just totally came off of that. I looked up and I went haywire. Oh, goodness gracious. Um, I'm kind of glad that these things happen occasionally because I don't want you guys to think that we are infallible. We make mistakes too. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to fix this one. Now, what I have in here is I'm working with a King Tut size 40 thread on top, and I have Deco Bob in the bottom. We're going to go ahead and we're going to pull our bobbin thread back up and start over again, okay? Come on. There we go. Remember, this is a practice piece. I'm going to have a little goofy um, meeting right there, but I'm not going to worry about it. There we go. Okay, we'll just bundle all those guys up here. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put my template back in. Now again, I want to keep the right-hand side inside of there, and the left-hand side can come out just a hair. So here we go. Take that one stitch in place. There we go. Okay, that's better. You want to take it easy around these star points because they are really deep. And don't forget to take your hesitation stitch right there on the very point of it, too. There we go. Now remember, I have started this star where I put my key so I know which way I'm going next. All right, and I'm going to show you what I mean. I put my little key right here. I catch your keys. There we go. Right here. And that's where I'm going to take off for the next design. And to do that, I'm going to grab my edge to edge designs and I'm going to use C. Okay. I just like C. C gives us a lot of shapes that we really like. I can go like this and it will come out and around in this direction. Or I can go like this and it's going to come upwards and down. And I think that's the one that I want to use. So I do have stable tape on both sides of my connectors always. And I'm going to stop right about there. Okay, when I say right about there, I mean that right about there. No measurements. No, don't need them. Okay, so my next is going to be 3 star sixes. Okay, had to think about that for a second. We're going to use the 2-inch, the 1.5-inch, and the 1-inch. Okay, let's see how we're doing for comments and things, okay? All right. Let's see what Jan has to ask. Do you plan out those little X's where you want your connectors to be before you actually do the ruler? Or do you do the design, then put your connector notation in? Jan, that's a really, really good question. And I do it as I'm going along. Okay. I don't go in and say this is where my connectors will always be. I go ahead and I draw in the motif and then I decide where the connector would be the best. And that's what I do. Okay, I hope that answers your question. Okay, and Jan also says, do you use some marker on the inside edge of all your ruler designs? I've noticed frequently that you have color in them. Jan, you know what? That's another really good question. I don't have all of them marked. And yeah, that is something that I'd really like to do one of these days when I get a few minutes, but right now they're not all marked. All right, Lindy is here. Oh, Lydia said she didn't see a new email for this week. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, but she's getting some rain. If you're like the rest of the country, Lydia, you kind of need that rain, don't you? Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna get a drink here. We're gonna go ahead and start with the largest and just move our way down. what I've done, you'll make sure, what I hope you see or you recognize, I don't put all my templates in one direction. I go ahead and turn them around in all different ways. We're going to have to do 1.5 rotations on this. Let me put jump top. There we go. That's better. Now, because we want to come back to this point, we can do it in either way, whichever way you prefer. The real key to this is don't move your template. If you move your template, then it's going to get a little more difficult. I also want you to remember I'm using a very high contrast, a big thread. Every wobble I do is going to just shine. Okay, so I want to now come back towards the rest of the motif. So I'm going to just go ahead and I think I need to take one more stitch right there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn it just a little bit so that it's kind of facing inwards. And here we go. There we go. Again, we need to come back to our bottom point. There we go. And we're done with that one. And this will be our last one on this side. And we've got our last one in on this side. Now, what you're going to notice is this really doesn't take all that long. And what we can do, this is the point in which we are going to put our connector on to get to the next motif. Okay. Right here. I need to turn that light off. It's giving me grief. There we go. So I want that connector to come here from the center, and then it's going to come down to the next motif. So I would want to get up to here and come down like this, and then I would stitch this little guy in. Okay, yep. Let's move it over a little bit, okay? There we go. I would come across here, come down from here, and stitch this little guy in. And I'll go ahead and do that, just so you have an idea of how this really works, okay? Now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna travel. I'm not gonna worry about yeah, it's gonna come from the center here. So if you're moving down a quilt, this is exactly how you would do it. And I'm going to go ahead and get C out. And we're going to come in this orientation. Now I'm not going to go very far because it's going to be really hard for me to make this template if I get out any further. But this is approximately where it would be and how it would be. So this is oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. There we go. So this is on to actually our next design. And there you can see that's where it's going to be. And I'll show you over on the other side as well, okay? All right. Oh, this my cameras have all gone cattywampus on me. Okay. And up we go. And of course, then we would keep on going with the design. So we've got this part of it taken care of. And, oh, my poor little Tippy went to the vet today. She got some shots and she's not feeling real well. Poor girl. Don't you hate it? You just want to be able to help them. All right. Well, Lynn. Yeah, I know. I kind of figured that out. Oh, so thanks for letting me know, Lee and Lee. I appreciate it. I try to keep things where they belong, but sometimes, boy, oh boy. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do here is we are going to take our star tail too. Whoops, that's the little one. I want the bigger one. And let me go ahead and bring this back out. And I apologize, I didn't get this really, really dark today. Okay. Here's where we're going to put this 2-inch star tail 2. And where I ended up starting it was right from that tip of that, um, the knot rotation. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the thread up here. And there we go. going to set that down. And I basically wanted to make sure that it was on an angle. I didn't want it to be straight up and down. I thought that was first off, it didn't match what the designer did here on the embroidery, but I think it just looks a lot nicer this way too. Okay. So find the place you feel that you're most comfortable with. Just because I do things one way definitely does not mean you have to do things the same way. Now, in this one, we are going to have to stitch 1.5 times again. And that is to get ourselves to the next connector. There we go. By the way, I did ask Stacy if she would be willing to put a discount on the Crosshair book, and she said absolutely. So you can get the discount on that book right now. It's time. Okay, I'm just going to double stitch over here. Now, please remember with this high contrast thread, and it's a big thread, every wobble is going to show. So we're going to see how well I can do this. And there I had to stop. Given my druthers, I would not have stopped there. Okay, needle down. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Okay, and we're going to trim those threads. I personally don't like to don't I don't mind burying threads, I really don't, but then again, I don't look for opportunities to bury threads either. If I could get away without it, manischewitz, I will. Okay, make sure you now we need to put the connector C, and then we've got a 1.5 inch star 7. So here's that connector C. Tonight, you're just gonna notice that it's my go-to. I don't know how else to explain it. It, it's just got some great things you could do with it, and angles. I love all the angles that you could do with it, and how far out you can get with it. If you want it really far out, you would use it on this right here. And if you wanted to go a long way, you would go from edge to edge. I don't need to go a long way on this, but I do want it to kind of poof out like somebody who's 9 months pregnant. I don't know why I thought of that analogy. Okay. And now we're going to go ahead and bring it in. Now, what I also want you to see with this one is you can turn this. If you didn't want to go as far, so you can turn this and you can keep going and you will not notice it. I think that probably is the reason I like this connector best. It's the edge to edge connector 1. Of course, you get 2 of them in the set. All right, so next we're going to get the 1.5 inch star 7. And this is star 7, 1.5 inch. And we're just going to go ahead and put that little guy on there. I think we're going to go ahead and take this from here. I want it to go in this direction. Oh, let's see where we're at. Okay. Oh, hi, Ronnie. Oh, Lydia, thank you. Oh, Lydia's talking about living in Bountiful. Ah, Joey, yes, I'm referring to the Crosshair Ruler book. Yes, yes. Okay, Jan, are you back? Are we back where we should be with the centering? I'm glad that I've got you guys to keep me going here because I'm never quite sure. When I'm busy stitching, I don't see what's going on over there. Okay, because we want to end up here, we're going to have to do a rotation and half. Take your time. I like to make my stitches a little smaller on these guys. Look at the flagging going on here. You can just tell that my foot cut loose. And I've got it down too far. There we go. Perfect. With these stars, I like to use a real thin thread because the effect of the thread is the play of light that comes off of them. And they're just beautiful. Okay, I need to make one more rotation. Take your time. Make sure that template stays nice and stable. And we're going to come up, and there we go. We want to be at the opposite side. Okay. Now we are going to use our star tail 2, but this time it's going to be the 1 inch. And this time we're going to put it in this orientation. So what's going to happen is we've actually got this little guy coming straight out of the star, which is how a star tail really probably should be done, right? And we're going to go in this direction. And we're going to come back because we want our thread to end up at the top of the star tail, the star tail. And there we go. Okay. Oh, and I thought I had my needle in there, but I didn't. It's never a good thing. Okay. Whoa. Hello. Okay. Yep. Oh, sure. Good. All right. So now what we have is we have this little guy. Okay. And again, I used the letter C on him and I put a full moon, 2-inch full moon in there. So let's go ahead and put the letter C. Now, this is the one that I was telling you about that you can actually make it come down further. But I think for this, we're going to be really good just using all of this template. And I may change my mind when I get down here. I may want to go a little further. We'll see how that works. Now, what we're going to have is we're going to have a moon here, and then we're going to come down and have a star here. Yeah, I think that's going to be good. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 2-inch full moon, these guys back, and 2-inch full moon. Yep, right here. I'm going to go ahead and put it on. Okay, so what happened here is I don't know as I want it that far. Oh yeah, I guess I do. Okay, so we're gonna start here. We're gonna come around and we're gonna come back because where we want to be when we get to the bottom here, right about there. Now I know that mine is just a little bit different than what the design is. This should have been out just a little further, but you know what? It's okay. It really is okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my seat again. I'm just not going to go very far. There we go. And I'm going to put in my star 6, 1 inch. And there's our star 6, 1 inch. Now we're going to put it in kind of straight, but kind of at, not kind of straight, kind of at an angle. I don't know how to. Yeah, kind of straight, but kind of not straight. Okay, that made a whole lot of sense. But where I want to come with the next, um, where I want to connect this is actually going to be on this, put it that way, actually going to be on this here, and then we're going to come up. I'm going to show you how to do that. Don't forget those hesitation stitches. That down. There. Okay. Now let's go ahead and get that C connector out again because what we want to do is we want to come around. Mm-mm, whoops. There we go. We want to come around and up. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to come around and then rotate the template to go in an upward fashion. The reason we've got to do this is because we don't want to stitch over our star. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to make some adjustments as I go along. And I could have done better on the adjustments. I'm not going to lie. And now this is going to connect right here. And how did we do that one? We had this one just on an angle. Around, nice and slow and steady. Then kneel down. And now we're going to put our 1 inch in because that's the way that it ends over here. And it's going to go on this angle. There we go. Let's see what we did tonight, okay? So we brought it over here to connect over here. uh, and then we did our complete motif here. This I probably would have brought in just a little more compact, but it works. And here's all of our moons and our stars. And what you'll see is by drawing it out, it gives me the opportunity to get it onto fabric with a lot less angst because I know where things are going to go. Okay, Joyce is very late. She's baking bread and brownies. Okay, Joyce, we want your address. We're going to be there shortly. Oh, and bless your heart. You can always watch the rerun, right? And Kathy Dewey, oh, what's wrong with me, late again? You know what? I'm the same way. I've never I'm not a person who, stays on task or on time, I guess I should say. So what we did tonight was we did the Starry Night 2 Edge Design, and this is it. See if we can get it up and you could see better. There we go. Ah, wait, there we go. I like this one. I really do. I think it's easy to do and it's easy to put together. Oh, Kathy, you're too funny. Just got off the treadmill. She could have been watching then. Yeah, that's a good way. Two birds, one stone, right, Kathy? Oh, thank you, Linda. Yeah, this is really fun. This is just really fun stuff. I enjoy it. I enjoy being able to be here with you guys too. That really does make my day complete. And don't forget, like, subscribe, share, and all that fun stuff. And tomorrow night, we are going to be looking at butterflies and botanicals. And Wednesday morning for Coffee with Kathy, we are going to look at Spinifex 13, which excites me because um, it's a different, it's different. It's a different template. And so I think we can do some fun things with that. I hope you've enjoyed tonight as much as I've enjoyed bringing it to you. And you know how to get a hold of me if you need to. Sosay.com, educators page. All my information is there. And I'm always happy to hear from you. So until we meet again, let's quilt.